In the heart of a glowing forest, where every leaf whispers with magic, a fairy discovers that her world is not as safe as it seems. A single reflection in the river twists into something she cannot explain, and one chilling touch marks her forever. What happens when a paradise turns against its own? Stay with me till the very end, because this story will take you to a place where beauty hides something terrifying. And do not forget to like, share, and subscribe, because you will not want to miss what comes next. The forest was alive with whispers. Moonlight poured through the silver leaves, each branch trembling with a strange glow. The fairy, Elira, drifted gently above the moss, her wings scattering tiny sparks of blue light. Every breath of wind carried a fragrance of flowers, yet tonight the sweetness felt heavier. Something in the air was different. She paused. The usual chorus of crickets fell silent. Her heart tightened, a shiver running down her delicate arms. The glow of her world dimmed for a moment, as if shadows wrapped around the trees. Elira turned her gaze toward the river. Its surface rippled, though no breeze touched it. She hovered closer, her wings trembling with unease. The water reflected her image, yet her reflection was not her own. Her face in the river twisted, eyes widening, smile stretching unnaturally wide. Elira gasped, her voice caught in her throat. The reflection whispered, though no sound should have escaped the water. "Why have you entered my world?" Her wings faltered, scattering sparks into the darkened air. The forest, once a cradle of light, felt tighter, like it was closing in. A low hum rose from the ground, vibrating through the moss beneath her feet. The trees bent slightly, their branches leaning toward her, as if they were listening. Elira took a step back. But the reflection leaned forward. Its eyes glowed red, burning through the surface of the water like fire under glass. The river rippled violently, as if something beneath was rising. Her chest tightened, her breath shallow. The world she had always called safe was shifting into something unrecognizable. And she could not look away. Elira's wings fluttered harder, their light flickering like a candle in the wind. She tried to step away, but her feet felt heavier, as though the moss beneath her had turned to stone. The hum in the ground grew louder, pulsing in rhythm with her heartbeat. The reflection in the river tilted its head, mirroring her movement but twisted, unnatural, wrong. Its mouth opened wider. The water rippled outward in sharp rings, each circle spreading across the surface like cracks in glass. Elira's ears filled with a high-pitched ringing, piercing and relentless. She covered them with her hands, but the sound only grew stronger, vibrating through her bones. The trees whispered now. Their voices blended together, words she could not understand, words that scraped at her mind. Her wings faltered, light fading, sparks falling uselessly into the shadows. The reflection spoke again, this time louder. "You do not belong." The river surged upward, splashing against her legs though she had not stepped inside. The water was ice cold, colder than winter air, burning against her skin. She gasped, wings flaring, her body trembling with shock. The air itself felt heavy, pressing down, stealing her breath. And then, something began to rise from the depths of the river. A shape. Dark. Twisting. Growing taller with every ripple. Elira's chest tightened, her instinct screaming for her to flee. But her body refused to move. Her magical world, once bright and safe, was now a prison. And the thing in the water was breaking free. The river churned violently, sending waves crashing against the mossy banks. Mist rose from its surface, curling into the air like ghostly fingers. Elira's wings buzzed weakly, her light flickering in the suffocating gloom. Her eyes widened as the shape grew clearer. A towering silhouette, dripping with black water, shoulders hunched as if burdened by centuries. Its limbs stretched unnaturally long, each movement slow, deliberate, and crushingly heavy. The forest fell into silence. Not even the wind dared to breathe. The figure's head lifted, and two hollow eyes locked onto Elira. Her chest heaved, her breath sharp and uneven. The sound of the river seemed to vanish, replaced by the pounding of her heartbeat in her ears. A foul scent seeped from the mist, bitter and metallic, filling her lungs and making her throat burn. Elira staggered backward, finally breaking free from the moss that gripped her feet. But the ground beneath her pulsed, alive, as if the forest itself wanted her trapped. The figure leaned forward, its hollow eyes glowing faintly. The reflection on the river still remained, twisted and smiling, even though the creature had risen. Two images. Two presences. Both watching her. Elira's hand shook, the sparks from her wings now little more than dying embers. Her magical world was turning against her, piece by piece. And the creature began to move closer. The ground trembled with each step the creature took. Its long, dripping arms brushed against the trees, leaving black stains that hissed and spread like rot. Elira's wings fluttered desperately, but the air pressed down like a crushing weight. Her voice finally broke free, a sharp cry that vanished into the suffocating silence. The creature's hollow eyes burned brighter. It tilted its head slowly, as if studying her fear. The reflection in the river twisted further, its mouth opening in a soundless scream. The water surged upward again, this time spraying her face with icy droplets. Her skin tingled where the water touched, a stinging ache that crept along her arms. She gasped, clutching her hands to her chest. The scent in the air grew stronger, bitter, like iron and smoke mixed together. The trees bent lower, branches reaching toward her, their whispers now louder, almost chanting. Elira tried to summon light, but only a faint spark flickered at her fingertips. The creature took another step, closer now, towering over her, blocking out the moonlight. Its shadow swallowed her entirely. She could hear its breath, or perhaps the sound was the river itself, deep, rattling, endless. Her heart pounded so hard she thought it would shatter inside her chest. Then, the creature raised one long, dripping hand. And the forest held its breath. The creature's hand hovered in the air, dark water dripping from its fingertips. Each drop struck the moss with a hiss, leaving behind small blackened scars. Elira's wings shivered, her body frozen between the urge to flee and the weight of terror pressing her down. The chanting whispers of the trees rose higher, echoing through the night like a chorus of unseen voices. The hand lowered slowly. Closer. Closer. Elira could feel the cold before it touched her, a chill that sank deep into her bones. Her breath escaped in short, ragged bursts. Her light sputtered again, dimmer than ever, almost gone. Then the creature's fingers brushed her shoulder. Her entire body jolted. The chill was unbearable, sharper than ice, sharper than steel. It spread instantly through her veins, flooding her chest, numbing her wings. Her vision blurred, colors bending into shadows. The forest around her seemed to twist, trees bending and stretching into unfamiliar shapes. The reflection on the river laughed silently, its wide smile splitting even further. Elira staggered back, clutching her shoulder where the hand had touched. Her skin burned and froze at the same time, glowing faintly with a strange, black shimmer. The creature did not move closer now. It only stood there, watching, waiting, as if it had marked her. And the forest whispered louder than ever. The burning on Elira's shoulder spread slowly, crawling like fire beneath her skin. Her wings twitched violently, sparks falling off in uneven bursts. She clutched her chest, gasping, as if the air itself no longer wished to enter her lungs. The black shimmer pulsed, brightening with each beat of her heart. The trees bent lower, their branches almost touching her hair now, whispering words she still could not understand. Her knees buckled. She fell against the moss, but the ground no longer felt soft. It writhed beneath her palms, alive, twisting like 1,000 tiny roots wriggling through her fingers. Elira's eyes widened. The forest she loved was rejecting her. Her breath came in broken sobs, each one clouding the air with mist. The reflection on the river leaned closer, its mouth still moving, though she heard no words. Her mark throbbed again, sending a stabbing pain through her chest. She screamed, her voice raw, piercing the silence. The creature's hollow eyes did not blink. It only tilted its head, watching her collapse. Her wings faltered once more, light flickering, weaker, dimmer. And then, the mark shifted. From black to a deep, violent red. The glow pulsed outward, staining the moss, staining the air itself. Elira's world shuddered. Everything she had known was slipping away. And the forest was no longer hers. The red glow spread across her shoulder, winding down her arm like veins of fire. Her skin shimmered, not with the light of magic, but with something darker, something foreign. Elira clawed at it, desperate to tear it away, but her fingers only sank into the burning glow. The pain shot through her body, forcing a cry that echoed deep into the forest. Her wings convulsed, sparks bursting wildly before fading into dull embers. The air thickened, heavy, suffocating. Every breath scraped her throat like smoke. The trees no longer whispered. They chanted. Louder. Faster. Their voices surrounded her, pressing against her mind, drilling into her thoughts. Her vision blurred, the world bending, twisting into unfamiliar shapes. The river no longer reflected her face. It showed a darker version of her, eyes hollow, wings fractured, smile stretched unnaturally wide. The mark pulsed again, stronger this time. Her chest lurched as if her own heartbeat no longer belonged to her. The ground quaked, roots tearing through the soil, wrapping around her legs. She tried to scream, but her voice cracked, swallowed by the chanting forest. The creature finally lowered its hand, stepping back into the mist. It did not need to stay. Its work was already done. The mark was alive. And it was changing her. Elira's breath came in shallow bursts, each one harder than the last. Her heart pounded wildly, but the rhythm was no longer her own. It was heavy, slow, foreign. She pressed her trembling hand to her chest, feeling the throb of the mark spreading deeper inside her. Her thoughts scattered like broken glass. Fragments of memory flashed, sunlight on golden leaves, laughter among glowing flowers, the warmth of her magical home. But each image shattered before she could hold on to it. Darkness crept in, swallowing the colors, replacing them with red and black. Her eyes burned, tears spilling, but the tears glowed faintly crimson. "I do not belong," she whispered, the words trembling from her lips. The chanting of the forest grew louder, pressing into her skull until it felt like her mind would split. Her body shook violently, wings spasming, feathers cracking and falling like shards of glass. Every nerve screamed, yet she could feel herself drifting further from who she was. Her voice faltered, thin and weak. "Please, no." But the forest did not answer. The reflection on the river tilted its head, mocking her with the same twisted smile. Her vision dimmed, her light fading, until only the pulsing mark remained bright. And within her chest, she felt something else breathing. Something that was not her. Elira fell to her knees, her wings heavy, her light nearly gone. The mark throbbed one last time, brighter than before, and then slowly dimmed. The chanting of the trees faded into silence. The river stilled, its surface smooth once more, the twisted reflection gone. Elira gasped, the weight lifting from her chest, though the ache remained deep inside. The creature was no longer there. The forest stood still, watching her in quiet. She touched her shoulder, the skin still warm where the mark had burned, now nothing more than a faint scar. Her eyes lifted to the sky. The moonlight shone again, soft and silver, spilling over the branches. The world looked the same, yet she knew it was not. Something had entered her, something that would never leave. She rose slowly, her wings trembling but still carrying their glow. Though dimmer than before, the forest whispered once more, but now its voice was softer, like a warning carried on the wind. Elira stepped forward, her heart heavy, her spirit uncertain. Her magical world was no longer the same. It was beautiful. It was dangerous. And she was forever changed.